Hi, this is Srimal Education, Sri Lanka. Today we are going to discuss about linear graphs and gradient of a straight line and quadratic and cubic graphs and reciprocal graphs. Okay, there are short systems and techniques to identify. I will explain one by one. Linear graphs like these, everything is under algebra chapter. Okay, linear means straight line, so all linear graphs are straight lines and can be written in the form of y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient of the straight line and c is the intercept, which means cut off on the y-axis, also called y-intercept. Okay, gradient of a straight line. The gradient of all line is defined as vertical distance you need to divide by horizontal distance as you drawn on a right angle triangle. Okay, but there is another equation for gradient. Gradient equals difference between y coordinates over difference between x coordinates, or it's really well known as m equals delta y over delta x, or you can write m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. x1 and y1, x2 and y2 are coordinates on straight line where necessary. Even you can change the order. Instead of writing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, you can write y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Gradients can be positive or negative depending on their direction of slope. Now think, if you have a straight line like this, it has a positive gradient. If you have something like this, which has negative gradient. Okay, parallel lines have the same gradient and lines with the same gradient are parallel. Now think, two lines are parallel to each other, they have their same gradient. And there's another special thing, if lines are perpendicular to each other, you can find out their gradient product when you multiply two gradients together. Okay, which means the gradient product equals to -1. Quadratic and cubic graphs. Quadratic and cubic graphs all have the same basic shapes as shown in the following sketches. These are quadratic graph. Okay, this is also quadratic graph. This is a cubic graph. This is also cubic graph. Okay, in this quadratic graph, any quadratic format, you can write y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, a, b and c are constants where necessary. I'll repeat it again. Y equals a x to the power 2 plus bx plus c. Okay, this kind of graph we consider minimum. Here a is a value greater than 0, which means a positive value. In this type of graph, we say it's a maximum. Okay, we consider a value lower than 0, which means a negative. Cubic graphs, okay, cubic graphs, you can write ax cube y equals ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Okay, a, b, c, d are constant where necessary, and always consider if it a greater than 0, you get something like this kind of shape. Okay, if it a lower than 0, you get a shape like this. There are patterns and techniques. Okay, when drawing these graphs, it is important to join the points with smooth curve rather than the series of straight lines. Okay, here no any straight lines, here all are smooth curves. Okay, completely understood. Now here it's bending for one direction only. Here it's bending for one direction. Here bends for two different directions. This side is open for up, this side is open for down. This side is open for up, this side open for down. Reciprocal graphs. Reciprocal graphs are of the form of y equals a over x, and they all have the same basic shape, or as illustrated here. A could be a constant where it's necessary. Okay, now y equals a over x. Now think, if you have something y equals x line, it could be something this. Okay, now think you have some format y equals a over x, a is greater than 0, so you get in this format. Okay, then think y equals a over x, a lower than 0, so you get in this format. Completely understood. I believe like the way I explained is okay. So if you take something value x is between 0 and x, you get something like this. If you get any x value between 0 and minus infinity, you get something like this. Here a lower than x and a is lower than 0. If you release a value for x between minus infinity and 0, you get something like this. If you consider something for x between 0 and positive infinity, you get like this. If you really like my video, just subscribe to my YouTube channel, share, like and comment under it, and just subscribe my YouTube channel and let your friends to know. Anyone who is interested about maths, let them to know also. Just follow me on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Viber and YouTube. Search everywhere Sri Mahal Education Sri Lanka. I am Srimal Pereira and have a good day.